Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Let's talk about the money issue. That's right. These people are going to try to avoid talk about money any which way they can because this is about money, the money that's owed to the investors, the money that's owed to the customers. Now, those are two different types of money. So let's break it down. Investors took a risk, right? Whenever you invest in anything, you take a risk that you can lose money. And in this particular case, these people are going to lose it all. I don't believe that this corporation is going to do the right thing. This, what used to be Intellivision Entertainment LLC, is going to sit there and give these people any of the money back whatsoever. This was a profit share on the console that if they don't make, they don't have to share anything, right? That's one side of the money. But a very different side is the actual customer, the fan of Intellivision, that put their faith into these people's hands and deposited $100 in order to get a console. Now, for me, guys, it's a very different situation. I went into this fully knowing that this was not going to work. The numbers didn't add up, right? It didn't matter how many times I would try to talk to any individual and tell them to look at the number. Just look at these numbers. They don't add up. Simple math. Their emotions overtook their decision making. Their emotions overtook their logic. And they just didn't want to hear it. They just were fans of either Tommy Tallarico or the Intellivision, or they had disposable income and they were willing to make that bet. It didn't matter to them how long it took. They wanted to get that console. Completely understand. But these people have a moral obligation, at least to the founders, the people that backed them from the very beginning, right? Where is the money for them? This is really where you're going to see the character of the individuals running the company. Those people deserve consoles, not refunds, not anything else. They were promised consoles. That's what they were promised. And they have the money to do it right now. Now, given the character of these people, what do you think they're going to do? It's going to be very telling, the decision that they make. Because right now, the one thing they can't do, the one thing that John Alvarado can't say is that they don't have the money. Because what's going to happen as soon as that money hits that bank account, they're going to start diving right into it and do the thing that they've always done, unfortunately for this company, is pay themselves first. Screw everybody else. They don't care if everybody else loses money as long as they get theirs. That's always been the history of this company. Now, let me tell you, when this project first began, and it was just Tommy Tallarico going out there, and they hadn't put their hand out for money, I fully backed the project, right? I thought it was a great idea. I didn't mind, doing whatever because it was in an individual's money, or it was just people investing their money trying to put a product out. It's a very different respect that I have for independent business owners, right? I've been a business owner. I know what it is to, have a successful business, and I know exactly what it is to have a failing business, right? I've closed businesses before because they didn't work, no matter how much I tried. And for those people out there, let me tell you, it's a very different respect that I have for business owners. Because as an employee, you can sit there and bitch and complain about corporations, this and that and the other. It's a very different deal for you to work 5, 10 years, whatever it is, put your money together, and then go open up a business. And I don't mean a YouTube business. I don't mean talking, shit on the internet. That isn't a business. I'm talking about investing and getting, brick and mortar store, getting seller's permits, registering with the city, filing taxes, a real business, right? Not this fantasy business that we see online. I have a very different respect for that, and I didn't care what Tommy wanted to do. It was his money at that point. If he wants to burn it, if he wants to make ridiculous games, if he wants to invest in dead IPs, whatever he wants to do, I'm all for it because it's his money. The minute everything changed for me is when they put their hand out and they try to justify it with math. And then I looked at the numbers and it never added up. It wasn't going to add up. And unfortunately, at that point in time, I was in the very minority. If you guys remember when the Amico first came out, everybody was for this thing because of the popularity of Tommy, right? It was very difficult to tell people, hey, this is not what it seems. This is not an investment. I was having arguments with people telling me that this was just like investing in the stock market, which is not. It never was. And it didn't matter how many times I tried to explain it to people, either because they were too much invested in Tommy Tallarico as a fan, or in the television brand, or just blind with nostalgia, they didn't want to hear it. Regardless of all those things, there are people out there that put their faith in this company, put the deposit in, and what has happened now? You know this didn't happen overnight, right? By the time Tari announced it, they had already cut a check. The check was already cut, right? Are you seeing the refunds, right? Are you seeing all these things? Have you heard any announcements? I haven't, not at all. And I don't think we will, to tell you the truth. I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful that these people will put out at least the founders editions, which at this point you think they would have the moral obligation to do. And this is how far the pendulum has swung on this thing. What did the Amico supporters say, right? The people that were making shows. We want at least the founders to get out. How is that going to change now? Is that going to change? Oh, we're going to, this new brand is what you're going to get. This Amico, mobile app, these new games, this is what you're going to get. What is it that you're going to get? Nobody wants to hear about that. I didn't get into this. I didn't put money down for mobile games. Nobody that put a deposit on those consoles put a deposit for mobile games. They put out deposits for consoles. That is the moral obligation. That is the right thing to do. I mean, the real thing to do, if these people wanted to come back, right, and give all the money back to all the investors, which is never going to happen, right? That's what they could do to make things right. But at least make an announcement that they will start production. Well, you know what? Don't even do that, because nobody believes these people whenever they say they're going to start any type of production. We know it's always been BS, right? They've announced it right on camera. They've told these YouTubers to announce it, and they go out there and announce it, and it's absolute 100% horseshit. The only thing we want to see is consoles, not even boxes, because that Amico box, it's not worth anything anymore, because they can't use the name. They have to redesign everything from the ground up. Now, you tell me, do you think these people will spend the money to redesign the console all over again? You have to change the molding. You can't use anything that says Intellivision. You have to change the boxes. You have to change the manuals. You have to change everything. You can't produce anything with the name Intellivision on it. So what are they going to do? Good people do good things. Do you think these people will do the right thing? Or do you think they're going to do whatever is in their best interest, which usually means they're going to keep all the money and try to sell you something else? If you purchase anything from these idiots, the idiot is you. Don't believe a single word that they say. These people promise to deliver consoles, and that's the only thing they should be doing. Anything else is absolute bullshit to try to change the narrative of them having to do the right thing. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.